I've been a bit bored lately. I don't know. Well, it's pretty much what's happening lately. I've just been a bit bored of late. Sorry, just emptying out my recycling bin again. Oh my god. Okay, so it's it's 1:22, 23 a.m. in the morning. I'm just mucking around with a few things on my computer at the moment. I had to purge myself of some negativity because, to be honest, it was driving me nuts. A lot of that negativity was driving me crazy, and it was just making me feel like shit, to be honest. Oh shit, hold on a second, I have to change out of stream mode. 1 second. I do apologise, I had to manually change over to, I had to change over to off my VPN because I was on my VPN connection. So, I'm not too... I'll be honest, I'm not feeling crash hot at the moment. I don't know, system's a bit down. I'm okay. I mean, my vitamin levels are good. From what I can tell, I'm not feeling too bad today, but... I don't know, I'm feeling bitter lately with a lot of shit that's going on. I'm gonna block somebody because they're giving me the absolute shits. Fucking, they're annoying the crap out of me, and I just don't want to talk to them anymore, and they're a toxic person, and they should fucking know that factor. I've given up trying to fucking, deal with that person. Because I just don't want to deal with them anymore. Sorry, I can't deal with them anymore, they're too stressful to be in my life. That's the honest truth, and, I'll be honest, I'm gonna dump people out of my life that are fucking stressful to me or cause me stress. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem throwing people out of my life who do that to me. Because it's getting a bit too much sometimes dealing with certain things. So yeah, it's just life, you know. So fuck it all. I don't care about anybody else's problems or issues. You go fucking find your own issues and fix your own shit. I don't need you in my life anymore. You are clearly, and I will be honest, clearly a fucking bad influence on me. Let's see. Block. Just want to block that person because they're giving me the absolute shits. I don't know, I can't deal with them anymore. That's the honest truth. I can't deal with them. The people this particular individual attracts are always toxic. They always have a negative outlook on everything, or they have some type of negative outlook. I'm sick of dealing with it, to be honest. I'm just sick of dealing with his shit, and generally him being an arsehole. Because he is a complete arsehole, that's the truth. He's got issues, he's got problems. More so than what I actually have, to be honest. I mean, he puts me to fucking shame with the issues that he has. I'll be honest. So, fuck it. I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to find my own way. I'm going to muck around with my own shit, do my own stuff. Not going to deal with toxic people anymore. That way I don't have to deal with them. I don't have to get near them, and I don't have to fucking deal with their crap. I'm not feeling too bad today. I mean, I'm feeling retrospectively good, I guess. Not the best. I've got a bit of heartburn at the moment. I think that's just going to be something that I ate earlier, most likely. And yeah, that's just how I'm feeling. It's how wonderful I'm feeling, actually. To be truthful. I've met a few new people, some good, some bad. Some I'm still waiting to judge on who they are as a person. I don't know, as I said, I've got sick of having to deal with other people's shit. This person is a negative reflection on the human race, to be honest. He seems to have a bee in his bonnet about him being a better person, or some type of... I mean, no, just generally thinking that he is a better person. I'm sorry, but he's a terrible fucking person. He's an absolute piece of shit, to be honest, and I think he should fucking know that fact, because obviously he's too much of a fuckwit to realise how much of a dumbass he is, because he's not that smart to begin with. And another percentage of it too is he's full of shit. He lies like a motherfucker. He lies through his fucking teeth. Whether it's about his business or whether it's about anything that he does, I think generally he just lies. Including his relationships. He seems to get himself in trouble a lot with that. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm sick of dealing with his shit. He can go fuck himself. I did try to help him a few times by getting him and his girlfriend back together. Yep. About as effective as it could be in that given situation, and just didn't work. I'm sorry, fuck that shit. I don't need it. I personally do not need that negative fucking toxic shit. That shit is the type of shit that annoys me. It pisses me off. It's not just the fact that it pisses me off. It gets me that people can do that to other people. Like I have my bad and good days, I admit, and I have some shitty days, and I've had some shitty times. But I'm not always toxic to people. I try to positively reinforce things. Even stuff I do on the internet, I try to positively reinforce everything I do. And I'm yet to understand how somebody can be that fucking negative. Good days, I admit, and I have some shit. They can be, really fucking negative. Not just negative, but like so negative that it's just a really shitty reflection on everything they do as a human being. You think, well, what the fuck? What the fuck did people ever do to you? And to be honest, I don't think anybody's ever done anything to her. I think he's more of the abusive type anyway. That I don't know. To be honest, I think I need a few new friends. I need a friend that I can talk to on Skype and I can discuss things. I can chat to about things. You know what? I admit, I flirt. I've been known to get drunk and I flirt with a lot of different people. And I'll be honest, that's some of the stuff that I've done. But you know what? I don't think flirting should be a crime, and I don't think it should ever be a crime. Flirting with someone, I don't think it's inherently bad. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you flirt with someone or if you get back to someone. But what I don't get with some people is that there's other people who flirt back. There's people who get insulted by the fact that you're flirting with them. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a prude by any standard. I'm a pretty pervy person by nature. So I'm far from perfect. But you know what? There's plenty of people out there who are exactly like me, and I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook that there's a ton of people like that are very pervy. They're just generally pervy types. They like, all combinations of things, whether it relates to sex, masturbation, or otherwise. They're always interested in that stuff. Am I always interested in that stuff? No, that's not my primary focus. I'm not always interested in it all the time, but I do. I mean, everybody gets lonely. Everybody gets fucking horny. What the hell? Well, I think as human beings we're entitled to get horny and lonely from time to time. I mean, that's not a bad fucking thing. Like, should we feel bad because we feel that way? That actually is a genetic thing. Like, put it this way: human beings are creatures that ultimately. Well, the truth, ultimately, they are creatures that will, put it this way, we can't fight our natural biological urges. We can try to fight them as much as we possibly can, but eventually, at some point, they're going to get to us. It's not as if they get to us all the time, but they are part of nature. They are part of who we are. So inherently, you can't avoid it. I'm sorry, you can try your hardest to avoid it, but no, it's going to happen. That's just going to happen regardless. So, it's 1:20, it's 1:32 AM. I think I'm going to have a bit of green tea and detox myself, because I don't know, I guess I've been feeling a little emotionally stressed lately, because when you hang around negative people, it reflects a negative attitude, and you feel negative. You feel like you either feel like there's no purpose, or you feel like the world's full of shit, or you feel like whatever sort of. See, I do believe I'm partly empathic, and I do pick up on a lot of emotions around me. And the truth is, when I picked up emotions around me from other people, that's what's happened. I've reflected those emotions back at them. Well, that's something I commonly do anyway, and that's part of the fucking issue. I tend to gather traits from that person, and I gather things from them, and then it really, really turns into a shitty thing because I'm reflecting back the same energy, and it just, vice versa, it bounces off, and it's like a cascade. So anyway, I don't know. It's just negative people. I'm sorry, but negative people really do frustrate me when there is a negative situation going on. I'm gonna go and have a quick shave because this freaking thing's annoying me, annoying the shit out of me. So I'm just gonna go and shave off. So, yeah, sorry, I just had to shave this off. It's annoying the fuck out of me, to be honest. So, yeah, when you've got negative people around you, and when you've got negative reflective energy coming back at you, it can be really hard at times to stay positive or be positive about things. I try my best, but it doesn't always turn out that way. Now, I mean, I've always been slightly empathic. I mean, it's not just that. I mean, it's the other side of it too. You know, it's a lot to absorb sometimes with different things that go on, especially these days. But I don't know. It's so hard to reflect a positive image when you know, you're feeling a particular way or whatever. You know, so. I'll be honest. There's another side of it too. There's another side that I don't tell people about. I will be honest. Pedophiles, I generally hate them. I see the sick fucked up shit. My mum was abused when she was younger. I see the sick fucked up shit that these guys do. And the truth is, I wouldn't have a problem with torturing them one of them to death and cutting their hearts out and cutting them into little tiny pieces. To be honest, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Because I personally feel pedophiles are the scourge of society and they should be eradicated totally. Does everybody agree with me? Percentage of people do. A percentage of people have that attitude that's you know, that is the right thing to do. And I mean, even most Australian people I've known turn around and say that. But I will say that this man, the other person I'm talking about, is very toxic in the sense that they don't care. They don't. This is my point. I don't think he care. I don't think he would personally care what he fucked, to be honest, or whatever. You know. I think he's that deluded and his mind is that fucked up that he doesn't, yeah, I think there's a lot of underlying issues he has psychologically. He has a ton of them. He also had issues, and I know that he smoked meth and taken other drugs and, you know, things of that nature. The worst that I've ever taken in the sense of drugs is probably some codeine. Yeah, codeine and OxyContin and stuff like that. It's about the only thing I've ever really taken that's been stronger. But that's mostly been for pain. In most cases, it's been for pain a percentage of the time when I've taken it. And it's always been focused on just pain relief. Now, I smoke a bit. I drink a bit. But it just sickens me to see the shit that goes on in this world and the sick shit that goes on with these people, you know. Not just that, but some of the shit that people get up to each other on the internet, you know. The way people attack each other. I mean, I get to a certain extent that everybody has a bad situation happen to them, but the conclusion that I've come to at the other side of it too is there's so many excuses. It's like, oh, pedophiles, you know, supposedly they're not. It's always the abuse that's to blame and things like that. I mean, no. It's not really abuse that... I mean, sometimes they can be so psychologically deluded they don't realise what they're doing, I guess, in context. I mean, they'd probably give that mentally disturbed. But I have my mental issues, and I've never gone around and wanted to fuck a child or something like that. Like, that's seriously fucking fucked up. That's something pretty sad and pretty fucked, you know? And I kind of... It kind of makes me scratch my head that there are people out there like that. And to be honest, those are the type of people I would take the time to torture them down to every single level. Every single piece of pain, possible anguish, mental or otherwise, like I would give them back. Because I would want to make that type of person suffer, to be honest. Now, maybe that makes me sound slightly sick. I don't know. According to, well, a definition of a psychologist, apparently that does make me sick that I would want to do something like that to somebody. But the other side of it too is, I've seen so often these days, like, you know, just the turnaround factor. I mean, the other factor is too, and the other thing that most people don't take into consideration is there's also women out there just as bad. Like, it's not just male pedophiles. There's female pedophiles as well. And some people seem to think that it's always orientated towards a male. A male is not always the dominant point of reference, you know? So, as I said, it's kind of sickening to see those things. And in society, I know they are out there. But it bothers me that they are. And it does sicken me because of how much shit that my mum had to go through when she was younger. She would talk to me about a lot of this stuff. Now, at the end of it, she talked about it and she just expressed what was going on in her life at the time, and she just said, you know, for me to be careful. She was a cautious woman, so she would always make sure that I was cautious about things. Now, I don't know. So often, you know, people turn around and say, "Oh, let karma catch up with these people. Let karma do it." No, karma doesn't always catch up with bad people. Sometimes it will. There is certain situations where I've seen that happen, but sometimes you have to dull out some of your own justice and karma. I don't think inherently that's a bad thing, to dull out some of your injustice, especially if it's shit like that. And you know what? I don't have a problem. I would never have a problem doing that. I would never have an issue with that myself. See, at the end of it, to me, it's sickening to think that that's out there, but it is. It's out there. There's those types of people. Now, there's always going to be people trying to get your money. I mean, you know, money is money. It's a paper object. It's an object we obviously need to survive, but, you know, that's my fucking point, or the point that I'm trying to make. The sickening point that I'm trying to make is that there are people in society who obviously have more than a few screw looses with different things, you know? So, I guess at the end of it, I want to try my best. I want to find myself. I want to move. I want to move into the right area, you know, like, I've been doing a lot of this stuff, this internet-based stuff, and I have built up a lot of it through my own ingenuity and my own fact that I've put a lot of my own stuff through, whether, you know, it's sharing a lot of my different links and stuff and things of that nature. I mean, I'm doing dozens of things like that all the freaking time, and this is my point, I'm doing it all the time. It's always stuff that I find interesting. Now, I don't know, there's other moments as well where, you know, I don't know, just some of the negativity, obviously, I mean, the world's not entirely negative, but there is negative energy in the world. And unfortunately, the ratio of negative energy has got abundantly bigger these days in comparison to what it used to be. I don't know, as I said, I feel I'd rather direct my energy towards things that are pursuitful, you know, like, I'd rather direct my energy towards the good stuff, but at the same time, I don't have a problem with directing my energy toward disturbing people like pedophiles. Because the truth is, they do sicken me. They, you know, I don't understand the mindset, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't know, like, it's funny that you talk about the different things you talk about. I know inside my head, some days I feel like a complete psychopath, other days I feel like a complete sociopath, and then other days I feel perfectly fine and I'm just balanced. Now that varies with how I feel. I'm not always a sociopath, I'm not always a psychopath, and I'm not always in those particular moods. It's just sometimes where I get into a bit of a psychotic mood. Now, do I instinctually feel that way all the time? No. Do I instinctually always feel bad for that? You know, no, not always. But that's my point that I'm trying to make. I mean, nobody is perfect. I mean, we all have our good days and bad days, but see, I think the context was of it, it doesn't take a special person to kill someone, right? Whether it's a pedophile or whatever, it doesn't take a special person. Sometimes it just takes a person who's been pushed to their maximum limit, who's been pushed past their maximum limit. Now, I admit I'm a nice guy, but I have my limitations on how far I can be pushed before something really starts to bother me. Then I get to the point where I want to stab somebody through the fucking chest because they're being a dickhead. To be honest, that's only occasionally that does happen. And you know what? It's not all the fucking time that happens to me. I don't feel that way all the time. That's my point. I don't feel that way all the time. I don't have those emotions all the time, but they do happen. And you know what? I think if you look at from the psychological point of view and studying because I've been reading for a lot of psychology books, it is perfectly normal to have those urges from time to time. The honest truth is I don't understand people who don't have those urges from time to time, because inherently it's just part of human nature. We all get them. We may not get them every single day of our life, but, you know, you're going to get them from time to time, especially if somebody pisses you off enough, you know, if somebody pushes you hard enough. I've always had to deal with a lot of bullying and stuff back in high school. I've always had to deal with a lot of that stuff, and it was very hard for me, because I generally, okay, I was a big kid in high school, but it wasn't just the fact that I was a big kid in high school. I was teased for a lot of different things. It was my outlook, how weird I was, how nerdy I was, my point of view, the fact that I had a particular opinion, the fact that didn't have a problem voicing my opinion. I would always get knocked out or knocked down for it. Now, it's not as if it was always the case, but it would happen. That's my point. It would happen. So, you know, at the end of it, it did affect me. It had a psychological effect on me later in life that, you know, sometimes I get triggered by certain things in my life that happen to me, especially bullying and things like that. And I've resorted sometimes to fighting back because I feel like I'm being bullied in certain situations, or I feel like I'm being pushed or bullied in some way. And the truth is, I think, you know, some of those triggers I developed from interacting online, but some of those triggers I've also developed just generally from being bullied and fucked around with my entire life. It made it feel like I wasn't worth much in the original place. But now these days, I feel much more worthy and worth what I am. You know, I know what I'm. Put it this way: I know what I'm worth to people. I know what I'm worth to myself. I know the fact that I'm worth $75 a fucking hour to be able to be a technician and fix a computer, because I know I'm actually worth that. Now, when somebody does ask me to discount something, it does make me feel less it makes me feel a bit worthless when someone's not willing to pay that amount, you know, to be honest. And it kind of demeans the fact that that's my point. I went to fucking college, which was a local college down here, to get my Cert 4. I went to TAFE. I did all these fucking certificates. I did all this shit. And you know what it makes me feel when somebody tries to discount me or push me down of my value? It makes me feel less worth in myself when somebody does that. And it also makes me feel like I shouldn't have tried to fucking put the effort in to fucking try and be a computer repair person. You know? Like, how the fuck... I mean, I don't know. Like, that's my fucking point. Like, I don't think people understand that concept sometimes. Like, if somebody is discounting something for you, or they're giving you a good price, you know, like, don't devalue them as a person. Like, don't devalue them because they've got a particular context. I mean, Jesus, I'm sorry, but it's sickening to me that we can't place well, you can't really place a value on human life, but you can place a value on what somebody does for you. Their abilities, their skills. I know what my skills are. I know what I'm capable of. I know how capable I am. And if somebody plays down my technical skills, that bothers me. That actually shits me, to be honest. It gives me the literal shits. I really get pissed off with it. Because I can't understand why people can't value. Like, people don't value. Either it's the fact that people don't value technicians, or they don't feel the need to. So, yeah, it's just a fucked up situation. It's unfair sometimes, I think, in certain aspects. Same context as I'm not going to, you know, devalue somebody else's job. I'm not going to devalue that. I mean, I will try to get the best possible price, don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to, I mean, at the end of it, I understand when something is worth a particular price, you know? When something is worth a particular amount of money. Now, I think there's some products that are a little bit more than they should be. Like, there's some products I reckon they could go cheaper and they'd still make money on it. But, I mean, there's obviously some stuff that I think, yeah, there's stuff where you think, okay, that's way, way over what you would say was a reasonable amount. But my personal preference is that I myself always put the best value to ratio of being reasonably priced as well. So, you know, my motto is good quality service at a reasonable price, which is written all over my website. You know, and I think sometimes it does get me with some people and how they It's how they dictate things. It's how, I mean, look. The truth is, and I hate to say this, and especially in IT, the customer is not always right. The customer doesn't always have leeway, because there's a lot of things that a customer can do to a computer which can actually be their own fault and their own context and their own problem that they started because they were fucking idiots in the first place and dumbasses by not doing something properly with the computer or doing something stupid with the computer. I mean, we're all entitled to doing a few things stupid. A while back, I was a bit drunk and I broke a camera lens. I was willing to wear that. I was willing to wear the fact that I had to pay for that. That was something that I did, and it happened, and inevitably it's something I had to pay for. So, I was going to wear how much I had to pay for it. Because I knew how much they cost. Why did I break it? I don't know. I think at the time I was reasonably drunk, and I knocked the actual stand over it was on, and that's what happened. Basically, the camera lens got broken off the top. Anyway, my point is, I replaced it. My point is that at some point I ended up replacing it. I didn't replace it straight away, initially, because I was actually looking around for a good price for the lens. And once I replaced it, everything was good. I mean, at the end of it, that's what happened. But what I think gets me the most is that I don't think there's things that you can... There's certain things you can put a value on, there's certain things you can't, And I'm not saying everything... Like, I don't know, as I said, there's some jobs you think, well, okay, what you're doing is relatively easy, but then what you're doing is relatively... I mean, at the other side of it too, there's some people who are absolutely... even if they're doing a relatively simple job, they can do a ton of it in a given time frame, I found personally... Did I hit my arm? No, just... Okay. No, just leaning against her anyway. No, but... That's my point, I don't want to devalue myself. Computers are not as easy as they look. Or not as easy as the people assume just by looking at someone automatically. Sometimes there can be underlying complex issues that can take hours and hours to solve. I mean, you think something is relatively simple and you go into it and it takes you probably about 3 or 4 hours to figure out exactly what the fuck's going on with it. Or it takes about 5 or 6 hours just to work out exactly how things are working. Or maybe it's a piece of software that's malfunctioning, so you have to go and delete a registry entry, bunch of fucking coding stuff, you have to rewrite this fucking thing. Then you might have to reinstall your damn software, which, that, depending on, of course, your computer and how it functions and what's required, can be, in essence, a difficult thing in itself. I mean, look, that's the thing that I think that I hate about society. Like, sometimes I think IT technicians get devalued. I think somebody described it best. You do a job for someone, or not a job, but like even if you're doing a job for family. Now, if I were to charge my family every single time that they wanted me to fix a computer, I'd have a lot more money. Put it that way. But I don't charge my family for every single technical thing that I do. And if I did, the number would probably be astronomical in the sense of how much, of how much money they'd owe me. Do I hold that against them? No, because they're my family. I mean, you don't necessarily do that. That's not something you automatically do. But, at the other side of it too, it's just inherently something you do with family and things like that. Now, I have got a little more stringent on friends. If I just got to know someone and I'm a friend with them and I'm helping them with something, to be honest and truthful, I've got to a point where I'm thinking, okay, I'm providing, because I used to do it for friends as well, but I think, well, okay, we're friends, but Jesus Christ, I mean, at some point you're going to have to give me some money for something, I mean, or, something, or some monetary thing that will, help me, it will compensate me for the fact that I've had to put so much work into something. And it's not as if that always happens. I don't have always those situations that specifically happens, but sometimes I've just wanted to turn around to somebody and say, look, fuck, if you want me to help you, if you want me to do something, you have to do something for me. I mean, it's tit for tat, I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, I don't mind helping someone, but then I feel, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with appreciation. Don't get me wrong. you can appreciate things. My family can appreciate things, but when it comes to close friends and things like that, I don't know whether it's going to be the same. I just don't know how. You know, I mean, at the end of it, if I'm doing it for every Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry, you know, I'm not achieving anything. I'm not making any money. So you know, shit. I don't know. It's not overly bad, but I don't know. I mean, they're always finding out new stuff these days. I mean, everything's carcinogenic, cancer-causing. Jesus fucking Christ. The amount of shit that they talk about that's cancer-causing and does all this lousy, stinking shit to you, it's starting to mount to an astronomical number, really, the amount of crap that I've seen. And you're just like, what the fuck? Now, the irony of that, and the irony and the interesting part of that, is that we see it so often, right? And you think, okay, well, hold on a second, you know, they're finding out new stuff all the time. But the other side of it too is, as I said, I take every piece of information I get on the internet with a grain of salt. I'm not going to believe everything that I read on the internet, but there's some things I think, well, okay, there's fundamentally some logic to that, and not just that, but there's some science to back it up as well. Yep. Okay, sorry. I'm reading that somebody posted this in Aussie Barflies, and there's always people getting drunk, but have a look at this. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a personal pet peeve, and I may sound like an asshole for saying it, but okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to sound like an asshole for saying it, but if you have a child to a man who can't provide sufficiently for that child, then that's your own problem. I'm sorry, but it really is, because it's not just that factor, but firstly, she obviously has drug issues. I only take herbal remedies myself as a personal preference point. That's all I've ever really taken. I drink, yes. I smoke. Not all the time though. That's neither here nor there. Sometimes I don't smoke. I take a break from it. So it's periodical when I do it, and most of the time I try to do it outside if I can help it. Now, wow, just obviously the person has a problem with meth, or perhaps heroin, ice. Those drugs, yeah, I would consider those pretty bad, because those can do some pretty fucked up shit to your system. Or, yeah, ecstasy for that matter. It might be ecstasy, LSD. There's a ton of things. There's even shrooms for that matter. I don't know personally. I've never tried shrooms, but Jesus, wow. The worst. I mean, the thing I've ever done in my life is I've done prescription stuff. Sometimes, you know, like just for pain relief and general stuff like that, or just to fall asleep and things like that. What else? Pain relief. Then I've done a lot of herbal remedies. I always love my herbal remedies because they do have a pretty good effect on my body, but it's not overly bad. Um, alcohol, obviously. Cigarettes. I'm going to be trying some hemp oil, which supposedly it's not too bad. It's supposed to be sort of off the point of it. I'm waiting for it to arrive in the mail. But, I mean, see, hemp oil and marijuana, those particular things I don't consider extremely illegal. There's a lot of places now in America that are legalizing it, of course, and generally it's more of a relaxing type of. Well, it's not. It's not even. It's not even a drug in my mind. It's the same as a herbal remedy, or the same context as a herbal remedy. So those types of things, myself, I don't judge people on. I don't judge people on marijuana. I don't judge people on. I don't judge people on alcohol. I try not to anyway. I don't judge people on cigarettes. What I do judge people on is meth, heroin, anything that's going to be injected into your veins. Because I can't understand how the hell you can do that. Smoking, I get a preference for, because I get why people like smoking. It can relax you, not just that factor, but it is a relaxing action. It's sort of a cognitive action as well. It makes you think, makes you think while you're doing it. Personally, that's what I feel anyway, particularly with smoking. What else? Drinking I get, because, sometimes you just want to get hammered, or you just want to, most certain times you might pass out or whatever, or you feel a particular way. Other times you're wide awake or whatever. What else? This is my point, man. There's a ton of stuff out there that I understand, but there's a ton of things that I don't understand. I don't understand injectable drugs. I don't understand ecstasy or certain supposed party drugs. I've never personally taken them, and I probably never would. It's not something I would do. Obviously, because I've seen the amount of people that have taken them and the amount of fucked up shit they've done. Particularly the last person I used to talk to, because apparently he'd taken some, and yeah, he's off the fucking planet most of the time. So, he drinks, but it's not just the fact he drinks. He there's a lot of stuff. He chucks a bunch of herbal remedies, but the stuff that he's getting is technically, I don't think even half of it's legal in this country. So that's my point. I always stick to, logically, you'd stick to legal herbal remedies that help you or benefit your body, not fuck it up. That's my point anyway. So, is that. Things that I don't, as I said, I don't understand somebody who takes heroin. I don't understand somebody who takes injectables, because I just don't get it. Ice, meth, stuff like that. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense to me either, because of how bad it can fuck you up when you're coming down off it. But see the other side of it too. Somebody says they get their children removed for drug use. Well, look at the end of it. Fuck. I'm sitting there, and I'm just thinking, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck, like. So what you're saying in context that you want to get pregnant, you want to get another welfare check because you had a baby. And no, I get people. There's the people. Welfare is beneficial if you have problems or if you have issues. I get that. I'm not talking about drug problems. I'm talking about general problems. Health or whatever. What I don't get is that she's trying to get pregnant to get more money. That's just a cop out, and that's leeching. That's leeching behaviour. You know what I mean? To me, that's just leeching, and ultimately leeching off everything around you. I don't see what the hell that has to do with anything, and I don't think it doesn't make sense to me. To me, that's just leeching behaviour. It's bad behaviour. In context, what she's saying is, I need a child in my life to be able to sustain my normal level of income. Not just that, but I've already had 2 or 3 kids, different people, and she decided to stick a dick in someone who obviously wasn't very reliable. Sorry, not a dick. What am I saying? She decided to let somebody stick their dick in her who wasn't reliable. So, I'm sorry, but how the hell is that the person's fault if the person in question wasn't reliable to start with? That's your fault for picking the dumbass in the first place, and that is your fault for taking that choice and making that choice. Now, does that make me sound like an asshole? Absolutely. But you know what? If you're going to be that irresponsible with who you fuck and who you don't fuck, that shows me that you just don't really have the right to breed. You don't see me going out having sex with every fucking $2 hooker. Or whatever, you know? I don't go around doing that. I do actually want to form a relationship. I do stuff on the internet, but that's a different context. That's between me and another person. Normally it's just, you know, to have a bit of fun. Do I want to have a relationship and sex and all that other stuff? Yeah, of course. But I'm not in a rush for it. I'm not going to rush out and go and fuck the first pussy that I see just because, you know, my DNA... Well, not just that, but my DNA tells me to go and fuck the first pussy that I see. Of course, I actually do want to get a decent route at some point. But then you've got to take into consideration STDs. You've got to take all that type of stuff into consideration beforehand. There's STD factors, there's, you know, health factors. I mean, well, there's STDs. STDs are a big part of that, you know, HIV otherwise. All those diseases will fuck you up. Not just that, but they will... There's in the context of HIV, is it's an autoimmune disease, you know. I mean, that's my point. Am I a bit of an antisocial person? Do I isolate myself? Yes. Maybe. Yeah, no, I do. But I do it for a legitimate reason, because of dumbass shit like that, people like that, and the fact that there are people out in this world that they'll fuck someone just to get money. Now, actually, this is the context. I do believe in prostitution. Because of prostitution, you're going to use a condom, or, you know, there's going to be birth control. There's going to be things involved that are, you know, that's my point. It's going to be, well, in most cases, the most common form of contraceptive protection is a condom. But my point is, I understand prostitution because you're paying for a service. You're paying someone to have sex with them. And it's not about, it's just about the sex. It's about to get rid of the urge and make yourself feel better. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is people fucking other people with ulterior motives to get money or to, you know, leech off a welfare system, when, in context, that's the worst thing you can possibly do. That's the worst thing that you can do in the sense, like, it's really, like, I don't know, me personally, I'm thinking to myself, okay, hold on a second, I get that you want to have a kid, but you shouldn't have to have a kid. Well, okay, there's nothing wrong to have a kid to validate a relationship or to get into a better relationship or because you're getting married or whatever. I get that. You want a child. You want lineage in this world. That's understandable. What I don't understand is that there's women out there like that who seriously want to get money and like they've got drug issues or whatever, and most of the time it's because most of those drugs that they take will lower their inhibitions so much that they don't care who they have sex with at the end of it. Sure, I flirted online. Do I go out and get drunk? Not necessarily, because sometimes it's easier to get drunk at home because at least I know I'm not going to, you know, well, I mean, the other side of it too is, you know, sometimes alcohol can be involved, but other side of it too is drugs. Drugs is purely based on that. I mean, sometimes just somebody fucks somebody because they want to fix. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. Which is kind of saddening that somebody does that, but that's my point. They want money, they want to fix. I mean, I can say this much. In most cases, I always have enough to pay my bills. There's a couple of situations where an extra bill's come in and I've had to, you know, get money from my dad, obviously, but, you know, borrow some money from other accounts and stuff, but that's happened from time to time, and I always know my dad is always good with that. He's always happy to, you know, help me out. Now, the other side of it too is I've had situations where I've had a lot of, you know, I've had a ton of money for different things, and I bought different things that I wanted to buy. Now, do I buy a lot of things? Definitely. But anything that I've ever bought has always either been to invest back into me doing my hobby stuff, which keeps me busy and it keeps me functional, keeps me fucking sane as well, and keeps me from going stir crazy and bored. Aside from that, have I ever? I mean, everything I've bought has always had a purpose. Has always had a reason for it being there, regardless of what my family may think. I mean, my dad's. I don't know. My dad's a bit old school, so some of the things I buy, he's not necessarily going to buy. He's more orientated towards whatever makes him. Like, he doesn't have to be totally comfortable with the situation, and with him, it's the opposite. You know, something I'd buy, he probably would shy away from. He'd never buy it. You know. Me, on the other hand, there's a lot of tech stuff. I love tech stuff. This is my point. I love a lot of tech stuff. I love upgrading. I love mucking around with technical things. I love these types of things. You know, whether it's that or USB lighting. My point is, there's a lot of stuff that I like when it comes to tech stuff. I love a lot of tech stuff, and I do buy a lot of it. I admit that. I'm not denying that. I buy a ton of it actually, but I've also tons of the stuff I bought, and then tons of the stuff some stuff I've ended up even getting a refund on later on. But now the other side of it too is, is there a couple of things I bought that I've regretted buying? Maybe one or two, or maybe one or two things that over time that I've regretted buying because either I didn't get the use out of it that I wanted, or it didn't last as long as I thought it would. That's a detriment sometimes to technology, and some things they don't last as long as you think they would. But that's my point. The other side of it too is I've worked out myself as a personal preference point that sometimes, as I said, I mean, we all look at things from a different perspective. I personally try to do the best I can with things. Now, I admit there's sometimes, I mean, it's different from my dad. I'm not too bad. Most of the time I can eat most foods, but I think there's some foods that I actually get a bit of an allergic reaction to because of preservatives and certain chemicals and stuff in them, because it's not inherently good because it's not organic. I don't get those reactions all the time, and I don't have those issues all the time, but I do get them from time to time. Just occasionally. That's the reason I might have to take an antihistamine every so often. Is it always the case? No. It's not always the case. Now, the other side of it as well is that I've had situations where I've always, I mean, I'll put it this way, I always try to keep at least enough money in the bank to pay my bills, which I do have enough money in the bank to pay my bills at the moment, which haven't got all my bills yet. I won't be getting them mostly towards the end of the month. I do have a mobile bill coming up shortly. Not too long from now, but it will be coming up shortly. So, obviously, I'll wait on that, but, let's see. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad at the moment. I've got enough in to cover bills, and enough to get some extras if I want to. I've already bought most of the extras that I wanted. There's obviously some things that I still might have to get as well, but I'm not doing too bad considering. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, moment. That's interesting. But yeah, no, I mean, that's my point. But yeah, no, I mean that's something that I've found personally interesting myself in different situations that I've had. I'll be honest, I don't. I mean, look, I've always got enough money to pay my bills. At least I always make sure that I keep enough money to pay my bills. And not just that, I mean, look, at the end of it, I get, people lose jobs, they have situations where bad stuff happens. But I know for Australia, and this is personally speaking from Australia, in most cases you can get assistance from the government in percentage of cases. So it's never an issue if you don't have a job for a while, and then eventually, of course, if you get a job, you can stop those payments. But it's pretty good in the sense, like, Australia's pretty good in that sense. Like, that's what I like about Australia. It is equal opportunity. You can get a lot of that stuff if you need it. You can get support if needed. I know, I get some support from time to time because of my mental issues and stuff and not being able to work all the time. Sometimes I work, sometimes sometimes I have days where I can't work, so, it comes and goes. So I'm not too bad, but it's all worked out anyway. I mean, I claim so much on tax or whatever and things like that. I mean, that's my point. But that's the other side of it too, is that, you get different situations, obviously, where things are going to change. And I mean, I know for each individual country or different countries, that whether it's America, apparently America's welfare system is very fucked up, from what I gathered. It doesn't really support people as much as it should. It's a pretty screwed up system because generally trying to get the support is very hard. Australia's a little easier. Like, as I said, I've come to the conclusion that it's not hard to get support if you need it. And there's a situation where you can't work, or you feel sick, or whatever, or there's something stopping you from working. Now, is that always the case? Yeah, in other countries, no. There's a lot of countries that really have that support system in place. Europe has a very good health system. So does Canada. America, as I said, America's always been very shitty with that. And that's the thing. I think they leave most of those types of people out in the cold, which is rather sad. I think it's sad that that's the case. I think they should probably work more on their healthcare and get their healthcare system a bit more stable. Before they go sort of... I don't know, they should get their healthcare system more stable before they start going to war with other countries. That's my honest opinion, but... we all have our ups and downs. I mean, it's probably harder for me because of the stuff that I have to deal with mentally. And I will be honest, it is harder for me some days. Some days I'll wake up and I can't function, I just have no functionality whatsoever. Then other days I'll wake up and I feel fantastically fine, I feel great, and I can fully do whatever I need to do on that day, and I can function, and I can do everything I need to do, and yeah, it's good, I'm great, but, it's hard to understand, I guess, from the perspective of a person who's never had mental issues or any type of mental problems at all, what it's like to deal with them. Anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, OCD, and bipolar at times, sometimes good and bad, sometimes bad and good, depending on how I am. And there's other days that I just completely have to ignore everything, and I can't look anybody in the face, or I can't look at anybody in the eyes at all. I can't. I just can't get my head focused. Now, I don't have days like that all the time, but I do have them. So I won't deny there's days where I've had to step away from things. I've had to get a little bit of support in certain situations. Is it always the case? No, it's not always the case. But, there's going to be those times. I have come to the conclusion, though, that if you're doing something like, for example, let's see, what that person I just pointed out was, you're trying to get pregnant because you want money for a baby. It's kind of sickening in my mind. Like, that's... Why would you do that? Like, I get that you've got a drug addiction you've got to pay for, you've got all this stuff you've got to pay for, but there's easier ways, like... most people who take these types of drugs can probably go for hours and hours on end and do things for hours. And I mean, the other side of it too is there's some reliability factor of whether that person could get a job or not. Other issue is, does that person have underlying mental issues that they just have not put out, like they haven't told anybody about? Like that's the other side too. Like we do live in a world that some people go around undiagnosed. They don't go around and say what their diagnosis is. They've never been diagnosed by a doctor or a psychologist or anybody of that nature. They've never had anybody look them over. You know what I mean? At all. But I know for myself as a personal preference point that, personal point of view is that I know that I have issues. I'm well aware that I have these issues, and these issues are there. They happen. They're simply just something that's going to happen anyway. And I've learned to deal with them in my own way to a certain extent. I've learned to deal with them. I've learned to come back from them. I've learned to be better. In the sense that, well, not just better, but I've learned to function with them. Yeah, function as best I possibly can with them. Learn to do as much as I possibly can with them. I don't know. As I said, we all have good and bad days, and mine come and go. I'm going to have my bad days from time to time, and I've had a few of them on and off. But the truth of the matter is that I guess it depends vastly on the person. I am pretty easygoing most of the time. Like the worst that I'll do at someone, I guess the worst that I've ever done is probably yell at someone because I was pissed off. But to be honest, in most cases when I've yelled at them, I've ended up feeling bad about it later, or crappy about it later. That does happen though. I mean, from time to time you're going to get those situations where that happens. So, I don't know. As I said, there's certain people in my life. Not everybody. It's like just certain things in my life that stress me. Well, I know my triggers for stress. Make me feel bad or make me feel a particular way, And I know those things are going to affect me to a certain extent. Sorry, I just had to blow my nose. But yeah, there's certain things that stress me, and there's certain things that set me off, certain things that make me feel a particular way, And most of the time I'll be okay, and I'll clear my head later on and everything else. So. I don't know. I'm trying to purge my body of negativity at the moment. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to do at this point in time. Because I've been feeling really negative. But that's another factor that probably the world's getting a little bit negative too. I mean, I don't think the entire world's getting negative, but some of the shit that's been going on lately, especially whether it's attacks, terror attacks or whatever, or people being assholes. I do feel a lot of this shit, and I mean, I don't talk about it. That's my point. I don't always talk about how I feel about it. Some of the time I feel great, I feel fantastic, and I feel really, I don't know, there's always a lot of raw emotion going through me in certain circumstances, and I don't always talk about that. Sometimes I just want to talk about, sometimes I just want to talk about other people's stuff and everything else. And the other side of it too is, being around narcissistic assholes doesn't help either, so. I'm gonna need some tea or something. Some green and peppermint tea, that'd be nice. It's just one of those days. I don't know, I'm just trying to purge myself of negativity at the moment. That's the main thing I'm focusing on, is just not being negative, trying to not be anywhere, but I don't know. See, this is my point. There's another factor too. With my OCD, I obsess about a lot of shit. Like, just random shit, whether it's stress and things that go on in my life, I obsess about it to the point of madness, you know? And that's good and bad, depending on the situation. Sometimes it can be a good thing, sometimes it can be a really, really shitty thing that happens. And sometimes it can just be like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Did that just happen? I don't know, just, I don't know what to feel anymore. That's the honest truth, I really don't. I mean, that's probably the thing that I get the most, is that I either get angry with the world or I get angry with things in general, because sometimes I think, well, you know, that could be a lot more different. Those things could really change for the better, and they could be a lot more well organised. They could be a lot more, like, more put together than they are. And I see this all the time with, whether it's an organisational system or something, or different ways of doing things. I see there's always a different way and always a definite way of getting things done, or a certain way of getting things done. Do I get pissed off with my computer? Do I yell at my computer? Do I scream at my computer? Do I call it a fucking cunt? Go abuse it a bit? Yeah, from time to time. But I mean, it is an inanimate object. It doesn't really give a shit. But you know, the other side of it too is the reason I get fucking pissy with it is because these are simple things that could be fixed. You know, like, oh, I think, well, what the fuck? I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to fix some of these problems, because I mean, even Microsoft and some of these other software companies think, okay, hold on a moment, you've obviously put the engineering time in to do these things, but you've also taken from the fact that you know there's an error or a problem with it. Why didn't you release it when it was finally ready? Like, why didn't you take the extra time to put the extra effort in so when you released it wouldn't have bugs and wouldn't have issues? Like, that's my point. Like, wouldn't that just make sense, or wouldn't it make more sense to do that? That's my personal thought pattern on that. Anyway. Feeling good. Not feeling too bad today, so I don't know. I guess I'm bored. I guess, well, I don't know whether it's necessarily boredom. I think it's just, you know, particular times of day or particular days of the week, you know, you feel great sometimes. I mean, it's a weekend, and I'm used to having a few drinks on the weekend, but I don't know. I've got a bit sick of doing it with this one friend, because it seems to turn into a competitive drinking game. And like, I'm fuck, you know. I get a bit sick of competitive drinking. I don't mind casual, relaxed drinking. That's fine. But I get so sick of competing with this person. It's like, oh yeah, I have to drink more than you drink more than me, or whatever, you know, like vice versa or factor. I'm thinking, fucking hell, will you stop being such a fucking alpha male douchebag? Like, fucking hell, seriously? Or trying to be an alpha male douchebag. I don't know that, or he's just trying to outdrink people because he thinks he's... I don't know, he seems to want to outdo everybody with the shit that he does, and I'm like, no, dude. I'm always interested in people who claim they can't do certain things. I mean, I know there's older versions of Facebook and stuff like that, you know, whether it's on Android or whatever, that don't do particular things. But I'm always a bit cautious of people who claim that they can't listen to audio files, or they can't do this, they can't do that, on that. You know, I mean, most modern smartphones can do most of that shit, and most of the world has them. You can buy them. God, you can buy them anywhere. You know. I think, okay, if you're telling me you can't hear this or can't do this particular stuff, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, seriously, what the hell's going on? And then you've seen the person do, like, a live stream, and you're like, how the fuck did you live stream? Oh, no, I borrowed my cousin's phone or something like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Sure, I believe you. Oh, I've just got so used to people bullshitting me lately that, I've learned to turn on my bullshit detector. Oh. Percentage of the time, especially when people are lying through their fucking teeth. I don't think everybody does lie, and I don't think inherently people lie all the time, but there has been known, you know, people who can do that, you know. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, okay. I'm going for a detox. Okay, time for another detox at this point. Typing into Facebook, then I'm going to be doing another detox. That's my plan. Detoxification. Detox. Nothing but a detox. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I think detoxing myself and staying away from toxic human beings is something that I'm definitely going to have to do. That's just going to be so much more beneficial for me, and I'm going to feel so much better about it. Detoxing, detoxing, detox, detox, detoxing, detoxing, detox, detox, detoxing. Delete this. Punish scheme. I do have to report a lot of shit on my spam. Just generally on my fucking room. Oh, wow. So my live chat's broken. I'm fucking fucked if I know what the hell's going on with it. What the actual fuck? Yeah, I'm really at a loss to find a reason why this is not fucking working. Is it gonna work? Nope. It's fucking retarded. So let's start with a coffee first. It's sort of a detox. I really haven't had any coffee for the last few days, so I haven't been drinking a massive amount of it. So to be honest, I think that's something that I have to work on at the moment. Some more coffee. Coffee, people. I'm going to stick to coffee. I don't know. I think I've been having a bit too much alcohol lately. So I need to detox for a bit. I have been known to go for like a week or more of detoxing, just not drinking or doing anything of that nature. Just trying to have natural supplements. I have done that, so it's okay. So, where is my coffee? Ah, there's my coffee. So, right. So coffee, detoxification sounds good. I'm a bit annoyed. I fucking spilled that coffee on my shirt. Oh, no matter.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason that
There's a ton of these videos. Is always interesting, though. I find some of them quite curious. It's describing how the situations are in other countries, or it's describing other things. And it amazes me, good and bad, I guess. Oh, I don't know. So definitely a detox is in order. I need that because I need to clear my head a bit. Not just that, you know, it's not just I'm not actually just detoxing from, you know, other things like alcohol and stuff. I'm detoxing from people as well. I'm detoxing from toxic people and people that cause toxic issues in my life. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm staying away from at the moment. So I might where is it? One second. Let me see. I want to actually I'm gonna post an ad. Where is it? Put it in there anyway. I might repost my stuff, some of my stuff to Facebook because I haven't done it for a while. The only problem with my Gumtree ads is I have to constantly pay them up. So I'm going to go for the free alternative right now, and I'm going to put some ads into the Facebook groups I normally go into. Where is it? Where are we? I'm trying to find the fucking thing. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking notifications. Fuck off. Where was it? That's that one. That's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load it up and I'm going to copy and paste it to the news group or the groups that I go into. So because I have got a few new groups that I added myself to recently. Life is but a dream. But life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Let's see. Just going to paste that there. Pretty much the entirety of my ad. It's got everything in it. It's got all my contact details, and it's got my YouTube channel. It hasn't got my website, that's everything. Well, people can cross-link. I've linked most of it all up anyway, so it's not a big issue. Still alive, still kicking people, still doing pretty strong, considering. Post. I'll just punch pretty much a whole bunch of ads into the groups, which is the easiest option most of the time. It's a few groups, it's good actually. Alright. Haven't posted in these groups for a while, so... Huh. Kinda shits me. Fine then, you fucking prick. I don't know, it's stupid though. I mean, okay, I'm not a very, very massive big business and stuff, and I advertise in some of these groups, and a couple of times I've been rejected simply because I look like I'm some type of big business. I mean, I'm not. To be honest, I'm a fairly small business in comparison to most places. So, you know, small hobby. That's my fucking point. So, I don't have as much resources as some of the other places, but still. Local business. Alright, what else we got? What one's there? That's still pending. Oh. Interested? So I got a bit of coffee into me, which is great. Anyway, so I'm just posting to a few other groups. Keep hanging on, gonna make it through, make it through. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say. Do 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 do. Right, so there we go. That should work. Online garage sale. Actually, I'll probably sell some stuff on eBay too. So I'm not sure anyway. So I think that's all the groups that I can post in right now, which is great. Right, so I'm going to pass that on to my... I'm actually going to pass on my stream to my business page. Let's see. Some of those other streams. Let me share some of these to my page. I am feeling better now though. The caffeine is kicking in and I'm feeling pretty good. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say. I'm sort of annoyed last night I couldn't listen to music, which would have been nice, but when I'm live streaming I can't always listen to music because of copyright. I do love, like, it's not just the copyright system on its Facebook in combinance of YouTube and everything else. I get that they're trying to stop people from playing copyrighted music, but there is some licenses and situations where you can do that. You can actually play copyrighted music, and you still get, you just don't get, you don't get money for it. Like if you've got a monetization on it on YouTube or something, you don't get money for it. But the problem is everything gets muted. Every single fucking thing gets muted on Twitch and Facebook, or even deleted, if they catch those types of things in there. And I'm like, well, what the actual fuck? Seriously? Anyway, all good. Not that I'm complaining. I mean, yes, I am complaining, but I'm complaining for a good reason. In all honesty, keep hanging on. Make it through, make it through. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say. Da na 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 na. So I'll share that forward to my page. It's on my ad. Anything I might do. I don't know, it does get hard sometimes when you're doing a lot of this stuff, especially when you're pushing, not just advertisements, but all your listings and stuff. Like, I mean, I have eBay listings, I have a bunch of other stuff that I list. Sometimes it's really, really freaking easy and you feel good and then, you know, you feel like doing it, but sometimes it can get a bit repetitive when you're doing a lot of it. Not that I think that's inherently a bad thing, but sometimes it can be, depending on how you're feeling too. Keep hanging on. Make it through, make it through. Okay, so what do we got to go show? The other thing I find too, though, with Gumtree, there's always a lot of people trying to knock your price down. Not that that bothers me, that you know, I understand people are trying to get a bargain, but you know, my services, they are of a reasonable quality, and I think some of the pricing that I ask is not too unreasonable. So, you know, I feel kind of annoyed when people do try to bargain me down on pricing at certain circumstances. Services and alpha, there we go, post. Let's see here. Freaking spam again. It annoys the shit out of me. Right, okay. So 96% visibility. That's alright. Oh, yeah. So, still waiting for those to arrive. Actually, I'm still kind of pissed with that other computer out there at the moment that is having issues, so... So I just reposted my ads. I'm now posting my eBay auctions. Stuff on eBay. Right, okay. Functional. Reposted everything I need to repost. And share that forward to my business page as well. That's perfect. And share that one forward too. Yay, I've got rid of the toxic people in my fucking life. That's beautiful. Don't have to deal with them any longer. Great. Oh, excuse me. So let's see here. I've got everything set up so far. Not bad. Can check my emails. I mean, I am doing about a dozen things here at once at the moment, so. Okay, so basically, I'll tell you. Well, I'll give you an indicator of what I'm actually doing. So, what I'm doing at the moment, oops, is I'm checking my emails on Yahoo, checking my Gmail included. These are some of these random ass emails. These are old emails from other people, so archive. Checking my emails, so I've checked all my emails. I got to check my Gmail, Yahoo, checking my eBay auctions as well, just making sure that everything's okay with them. So far I haven't sold anything. Checking my Gumtree ad, which I've currently got up. Checking my old classifieds ad, which I've got up as well. On my video manager on Twitch at the moment, just checking out some of the stuff on there. Got a Twitch video screen up at the moment just to make sure that the stream looks okay and well, generally sounds okay, combination of. I'm on my Outlook at the moment, checking my email, and I had about a dozen thousand fucking emails in there. And to be honest, I get a ton of them. Aiming at a random porn email in there too. I'm also on YouTube at the moment as well. And I'm checking out the stream, just making sure the stream's working properly. And I'm finally on Facebook, which I'm just talking to one of my ex-friend's sons, because he's not a bad kid, and it's not his fault that his mum is the way she is. Streaming. Then I should probably archive some of my. I was also talking to this Filipino chick before. She seemed okay. She was. I just don't know whether she wants something out of me. Check out my live streams. Check out most of the random stuff I got here. Yeah, there's also a couple of other groups I'm on, which is Aussie Friends only for Aussies. Which that's actually true about insomnia. Sometimes you can really feel alone with it. It's how bad it is sometimes. Then a bunch of posts I did to a bunch of groups. Then I'm just checking out. There's a random post from different companies and stuff that I like to check out as well. So that's always cool. And most of, I mean, it's a combination of stuff. I mean, it's a combination of things. I get a myriad of different subjects on there anyway. But then I can get on my business or my hobby business page by just checking out some of the stuff that I just posted recently. Some of my streaming stuff. It's pretty much standard of what I do on a given daily basis. Those are the sort of things that I'll do. All the things along that line anyway that I'll end up doing in most cases. Aussie Barflies. And this is another group I'm with too, Aussie Barflies. That seems pretty cool. Aside from that, checking my emails to see if I get any emails. Checking if I've sold anything on eBay. I still need to list some more stuff on eBay, to be honest. I haven't got around to it yet. And that's pretty much what I'm doing there at the moment. Also on Skype at the moment. There's not a massive amount of people online on Skype. There's a few people, on and off. I blocked somebody recently. There's a few people. Actually, I need to talk to a friend because he wanted some personal advice on tech stuff, but I just wasn't in the mood to deal with stuff today, so I mean, I'm doing streaming, but I mean, generally out of this streaming, I'm going to get something out of this, either more subscribers or whatever. I didn't feel like mucking around with too much with that stuff right at the moment. alright. He sent me a message. He just wants to know. He wanted to know. I got a few things about IT. I'm not sure exactly what subjects or what things he wanted me to cover, but that's alright. I'll get back to him at some point with that. That's not a problem. Probably even tomorrow or tomorrow morning. What time is it now? It's 3 a.m. I don't know if he's awake or not. It's probably a bit late to be doing it now, so yeah. I really do like this keyboard though, it's really good to type on. Quite impressed with it so far. And, of course, there's this, which works pretty well so far. It's broadcasting pretty well. I've got IMVU as well, but there's not a... What was there? No, there's not really many people on it at the moment. Maybe like one person, but I think that was somebody that I felt might have been a bit of a negative person, so I'm probably not going to really talk to them that much. Actually, I think I took them off Skype because they were generally negative. You couldn't talk to them at all. And then this, yeah, because this bastard. Delete that. And those are recent invites. I'm just going to delete those. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Yeah, he's a pretty good kid. It's nice. He's generally a nice kid, so I get along with him pretty well. He doesn't seem to agitate me as much as his mother does. She used to be an ex-friend, so yeah. Let's just say she was an agitator. She was the type of person who would agitate you in general. So yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't made number 3 myself yet. I think they would have made a number 3 by now. Like, what the fuck? Not make a number 3? How the fuck does that work? I don't know. It just doesn't work to me that they wouldn't make a number 3 anyway. But oh, I also got Discord. I recently got this. I have one friend on it pretty much, but it's I got Discord because a friend had it and he said, "Could you try it out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go. Why the hell not? Might be worth it." I love number 1 and 2. I love number 1 and 2 of Left 4 Dead. They're fucking perfect, man. They're great. There's a few of my friends on the list. I'll take that off anyway, close that. So, has there been... I don't know, there hasn't been really... I haven't really looked into games for a while, so I don't know what I'd... Resident Evil 7 beginning hour. Star Wars Republic Commando. Is that a remake? Or am I seeing shit? No, that's the old one. Must be. It is the old one. Okay, so I haven't played that for a while. Didn't have to redo it in HD, did they? That could be interesting. How much is it? It's only $9. It's pretty cheap. I might consider getting that at some point. Watch Dogs 2. I don't know. Watch Dogs the original didn't really run great on my computer to start with. I mean, it ran okay, but I think it was, mind you, I wasn't playing on the same resolution I am now. So I haven't played it for a while. So it could be the fact that I just haven't played it for a while. And when I did have it the last time, I think I had it on I had it on 4K. It was on a 4K monitor. So yeah, that's probably the reason it didn't run particularly well. So change recent profile pics. I changed some of my recent profile pics and stuff, and added some stuff. I edited my profile a little bit. It was a combination of anyway. Also, the library. So, yeah, I've only got a very small database of Origin games. If I do have it, I mean, the fact that I have any is amazing, but I've only got a very small database of Origin games. I don't play them too. I mean, I play them from time to time, but I don't play them as often as I should. So that. So yeah, I was having some recent problems I told you that I was having with Malwarebytes 3.0, which kind of shit me, to be honest, because I know this the Malwarebytes 2.1.21 works fine, but every time that I try to put the code in for Malwarebytes, I run into a big backlog of things, so kind of annoying. Also, if you're looking for a what do you call it? If you're looking for a TorGuard, or or you're looking for a VPN, definitely TorGuard. I haven't had any problems with them so far. The only issue I had was a billing issue, but that issue related to the fact that once they pay something in and they credit it to your account, they can't refund it. So I wasn't majorly miffed about that. That didn't bother me. I didn't expect that payment to come out like it did, but it's okay. I ended up topping it up anyway. But normally, because I only keep enough money for a certain amount of bills in certain situations. So I'll just close that. That's anyway. That's programs anyway. But so yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff anyway, but pretty much all this type of software for even my mouse, my camera, it all works with that. It's sort of gaming software anyway, but all works pretty well so far. I'm pretty impressed. And the keyboard has been working fucking fabulously. I haven't had any major issues with it. It's been actually working really well. It's just that. So yeah, I was having some major issues with this, which was pissing me off. The newest version was a big fucking pain in the ass, which kind of shit me, to be honest. I haven't tried the game out. I haven't tried this game out yet, which I downloaded free because somebody told me about it. Kudos to the person who told me about it. This was two people who told me about it. It was Charlie Reno U. He told me about it, and one of my other friends told me about it as well. So yeah, there's a couple of people who told me that. So kudos to those people, and thank you very much. I'm just having a look. I don't know, I'm always open to new friends anyway, but I obviously need to get a bunch of new friends, I guess, because people I used to play with or people I don't much play with anymore just... let's just say some of the people were having a negative impact on my life. Wasn't great. 61% positive. Computer repair, quality service at a reasonable price. That's something I've done anyway before. We did some of my channel. Channel's not too bad. It just I'm hoping to grow my followers, to be honest. I'm hoping to grow my followers on Twitch, and I'm hoping to grow my followers on Facebook, everything really. I want to grow my followers on pretty much everything that I can grow it on. What I have at the moment, I mean, I wouldn't mind more subs on YouTube either. I'm trying to grow my subs, and of course my views are not too bad. I mean, they're pretty reasonable most of the time. I get a reasonable amount of views in certain time parameter, but obviously, I mean, to make a fair amount of money out of this, I do have to get a lot more views, because it pays out every 1,000 hits, like every 1,000 hits of how many views you get in a given situation. So I don't know. It's not as if I'm not getting any views at all, but it can be a little frustrating when you're doing things, because sometimes you get a lot of views, sometimes you get people coming in and saying things, sometimes you don't. It just depends. It can be a little frustrating because you on the other side you want to make people happy, but the other point too is I don't know, my repair side of things has been a bit slow lately, so I haven't had as much money to invest back into streaming if I want to. So yeah. That's the only complaint I've got so far. It's just, this is my fucking... Anyway, this is some of the pointless fucking spam stuff I get. Yep, so I'm just going to go punishing scam and report that. That can get flogged over to them, and they can do whatever the fuck they like with it. No emails. Nice. I haven't had spam through this one of late, which has been great. That's actually been pretty handy. Gmail, I don't get a massive amount of spam through that either. Just the plus side. Yeah, so that's good. It's already just obviously logged off. I mean, there's always a few people I can talk to online. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind that, but there's the other side of it too, where I get frustrated because my primary form of communication and my best form of communication I find for me is verbally. It's not as if I can't type. I prefer it. I prefer voice or video communication. Even voice is fine. Because it's just a preferred medium, and you get to know a person better by their voice, or you get to know a person better by their voice, or by the look of them as a person in general. So, that's what I find anyway. Support inbox. Thanks for your report. Oh, cool, that's right. I did report somebody. That's right, I remember now. Because I figured it was a fucking fake profile, and I'm just looking at them going, okay, report that shit, obviously. Yep. It was a dodgy profile. I looked at it and I just went, there's no fucking way it's real. Yeah, I'll say I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, great. You took acknowledgement of what I said. It's great. No, I don't really need to. I just like to give them a little encouragement. I know there's people who do read this stuff anyway. So. Thank you for your feedback. Help through Facebook for everyone. And I'm just going to delete that message. No point. And that's when I changed one of my names on my pages. It's closed. Delete. Perfect. So yeah, I'll be honest. I don't go around reporting everything, but if I see like a really obviously fake profile and it's so fake and it doesn't use any real pictures at all or anything of that nature, I don't have a problem reporting it because I figure there is a lot of dodgy scam artists out there who will do shit, you know, and I don't have a problem reporting that stuff to them if I need to. I don't go around reporting everything. Put it that way, you know, but there's some things that I think that are worth reporting because I guess to it, in essence of context, people clearly are trying to they're trying to scam someone or they're trying to get at someone, they're either trying to get at money or they're trying to, well, they've just created a fake profile for whatever reason. I mean, I've created profiles because I wanted to keep an eye on things, inherently. I have a couple of backup profiles, just basic profiles. But, normally you can tell. I mean, I'll be honest, most of the I don't think I've ever really been reported for things myself, personally, because most of the stuff I do is, you know, I'm pretty tame in comparison to what some people put up on their Facebook. I am pretty tame. I'm pretty tame in comparison. I mean, I put some controversial stuff up from time to time, but it's controversial to a certain point. Like, I don't mind pushing people's buttons, but I don't push it that bad. And to be honest, if people choose not to follow my news, or not have me on their news feed, then that's not a problem. I don't mind, you know, if you want to do that. I've only ever had a few people block me because they've got the shits with me. It's not everybody, but, you know, most people block me. Most people block me because they know the fact that I can come back and look at their profile anytime anyway. I mean, it's pretty easy to get into somebody's profile if you know how to. Or observe somebody's profile from another profile and know exactly what's going on with that profile. Now, the other side of it too is the only reason I've ever done that is because of some of the dodgy shit people have done to me. So I think it's fair that I should keep an eye on them, you know. But no, I don't go around doing that stuff all the time. It's only when somebody really pisses me off. To be honest, for a long time, I will be honest, I never used to do that. I never used to check on people's profiles and do all the other stuff. But now I do it now so often because I get the shits with people trying to fake me out or do other shit and do dodgy shit. And that's when I get, you know, well, that's when problems arise, you know? So... But yeah, no, it's not as if it happens all the time. I don't know. I don't know. As I said, I've got to know. There's a few people. There's sometimes I will add a fake profile from someone just to see what they do. I mean, a percentage of my friends are real, but there's a couple of probably dodgy profiles. Where the hell are they? There's a couple of profiles that you look at them and you think, well, how dodgy are they? I mean, I know these profiles are probably people have created just because they want that profile and it's just a play around profile, so they don't kill their real profile. You can normally tell with somebody if that is the type of profile it is. Other side of it too is you can there's certain times you can particularly tell when it's the case. So other thing I find too common is a lot of people don't turn their privacy controls on. I mean, it doesn't bother me because I'm a pretty public person about who I am. I'll post shit. I don't really care. I mean, I have posted some controversial shit in the past, and, you know, nobody really goes after me for it. But, the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people who don't have very good. They're not very good with privacy controls. They don't click them on properly. They don't set them correctly. And there's a lot of things that can be revealed on somebody's profile, especially, you know, psychologically speaking. You can study somebody and how they are as a person. I mean, fuck, I'm a pretty open book in comparison to most people. I'm pretty open about myself, about who I am, about how I, you know, the conditions and the problems that I have. Not just that, but I'm extremely open about myself. I try not to hide anything from anybody. But I mean, I don't give out everything to everybody. But you know, there's a good percentage of information I give out, and I'm pretty free with most of it. I need to put some. I think I'm going to put some money into Facebook advertising. To be honest. But it's always interesting the different posts that you come across in different groups. I muck around with the singles groups. I muck around with the pervy groups with, you know, naked photos and stuff like that. I mean, I don't go reporting the naked photos because, to be honest, who doesn't like looking at naked photos? To be truthful, or half naked anyway. But well, I mean, that's my point. When it comes to that type of stuff, as I said, I don't mind. It's also interesting too. Like, there's a couple of groups that I get into, which is, you know, Canberra time wasters or people who are trying to scam people. I'm in a couple of exposed to love scams and everything else and things like that. I do love those groups. Not just that, but it does help inform people of bad when somebody's really bad or a bad person in general. So I mean, too often though, I do find, and it sort of gets me sometimes, but it doesn't happen to me all the time, but I do have situations where I've got somebody to say to somebody, oh, well, you know, you want bring the computer over or something of that nature, or, you know, I'll have a look at it and see what it's like. And simply people just don't turn up, or they're not. I mean, isn't it just common courtesy to say to someone, oh, well, sorry, I can't come over today, or, you know, I've gone off somewhere else or something like that. I mean, at the end of it, that's fine with me. I don't care about that, but it's common courtesy to inform a person that you can't make it, or there's possibly something that's holding you up. I mean, as I said, that always happens. I know it happens with me, sometimes in some situations, but yeah. But yeah, no, as I said, I'm trying to get away from negative people. I'm trying to get away from toxic people, and I'm trying to stay away from people who are going to have a negative impact on my life. I think it's generally going to be better for my health if I do it. Saying hello to a friend of mine from the United States. See, I don't mind typing. I'm used to typing, but I don't get sort of the same sort of interaction as as much with typing than I do with actually talking to someone on camera or something of that nature. I feel there's always a better interaction when you talk to somebody on camera or you talk to them like using voice chat or whatever. That's the thing. I feel it's personally a better way to communicate. I mean, that's my honest opinion. And yeah, I mean, it's funny you should say that, especially about the internet and everything else. I'm sitting here, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. There's probably a couple of people watching my stream on and off. I mean, sometimes I get like 2 or 3 people, maybe. Sometimes I don't get a lot. Sometimes I get a relative amount. I mean, I have had probably 2, 3, maybe 4 people watch my stream at one given time on Facebook and other places. And then sometimes I won't have a massive amount either. But the other side of it too is, I'm sitting here and you're getting people to watch the stream, but the other side of it as well is you still feel a bit lonely and isolated just because, you know, you're not interacting with people as much. Well, sometimes it can be that can be mostly a problem related. I think it's mostly related to this stupid fucking that not working. Because I can't. This is my fucking point. I can't actually get it to work. I don't know what the hell's going on with live chat on YouTube, but it's just shit itself. See what I mean? It doesn't even work. So I don't know what's going on with the live chat. I don't understand why it's not working. Probably just need to. I mean, I could remove it, I guess, and put it back in. Actually, when is my renewal date for this? Because I like using XSplit and I love it, but I need to know when the renewal date is for the subscription that I have. XSplit. I just haven't, I haven't logged into this for a while, so wow, I thought I logged, okay, that's interesting. So that's new, because, once I've changed it around a bit. I think that's my password. Yeah, it was my password. The other problem I've had with XSplit, not major issues, but I've had a couple of little problems with XSplit when I've been trying to do, well, until the June 16th, 2017. Okay. Yep. That'll work. June 16th. I should probably make a note of that. And I might actually do that over in the corner of this screen here. I'll make a note. Because it is one of my online subs, or subscriptions, as I like to call them. So... Split. '16th. 2017. So that's the next renewal date. So I just got to make sure that I have enough money for that. So I make a note of that. I'm going to make a note. That's the reason I make a note of it. So yeah, that's good. It's good to know. So that's good to know that I have that there, which is great. I do like XSplit. It's not bad software inherently. So many people have said, oh, like all the cool kids, all the good people are using OBS, and I'm like, I don't like Open Broadcaster. It's just too flimsy. I don't like the interface. I personally can't stand the interface, to be honest. Like, I like this interface is just generally better for me. I find it easier to use. Not just that, but it just, I don't know. Well, as I said, I've got used to all the different things. It's got stuff there, but... Talk and source. So... This is what's giving me the shit. I don't grasp what is going on. Because there's no reason why you should have an issue. See, that just came up then, but then it vanished. See, it comes up and then it vanishes. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe I need to... I don't need to be the layout. I highly doubt it. See, this is what's shitting me, because I can't work out why it's not popping up, because it should be coming up and I should be able to see the chat. Oh, it's not a major issue. It's just frustrating when you can't see the chat. It's not overly bad, but still. Fuck. Whatever. It's kind of what's shitting me here. I just don't get it. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's probably it's just broken. It's not fucking working. So that's a bit frustrating when that happens. On the plus side, this chat seems to be working. Boom, it works. Yay. On the plus side, I can still go to this one and chat in here if I want to, or say something. But the problem is I can only really look at one screen at a time, so. Kind of that part's a little bit frustrating actually. I did watch Barnacules and J's 2 Cents live broadcast. They do the Tech Talk, which is pretty good offhand. One of the other channels I recommend is Review Tech USA. She does streaming as well. A bunch of them. Linus is great too. I love Linus. And a lot of the different stuff Linus has been doing lately has been interesting, and some of the stuff from CES was quite cool too. I mean, even though I didn't go myself, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's something I would probably do in the future, but that's my point. My channel hasn't grown enough that I would be big enough to be able to do it. But yeah, okay, I'm going to go into my emails. There, okay. This is the type of fucking emails I get sometimes. It's like, get Asian girl in your bed tonight. It's easier than you think. So yeah, I'm not. This is my point. Some of this stuff I've actually subscribed to. I will admit to that. But some of this shit I haven't even subscribed to. It's just random ass email addresses. I don't even know where the fuck they came from. See what I mean? It doesn't even have any... Well, I mean, obviously the pictures didn't load properly, but... Punishing scam, I'm just going to report that fucking thing. XCOM... Oh, I'll say it again. Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle. And then this is like Slot Village support. See what I mean? Type of stuff that I just, it's like instantly punishing scam or report or junk or whatever. It's a lot of shit that I have to report. Mind you, the Hotmail address is the one I've had the longest. This one's got deactivated and reactivated a few times, so that's probably the reason it doesn't get as much spam. This one's more orientated towards YouTube, so it's probably the reason it doesn't get as much spam either, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to get the exercise bike out from the garage tomorrow, and I'll work on that. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Keep hanging on. Okay, I'm gonna archive that. I don't know. I honestly think I have to get a bit more. It's not as if I'm not healthy, but I know my diet isn't perfect, and I know there's probably things I can work on with my diet. Not just my diet, but there's probably things I need to do, just detox a bit. I mean, it's not just detoxing from whether it's alcohol or other poisons that we naturally take in, because they are really, if you think about it, they're poisons. It's detoxing from people who are negative. That's a reflection on me as a person. You know, it reflects back on me pretty easily. So, if I stay away from negativity, I'm more inclined to find more positive things in my life, or get more positive stuff in my life. That's the honest truth. Might be a little bit boring for a while, that's not anything, but keep hanging on. Though, a thing that I do actually do from time to time is I will randomly go on Facebook friend recommendations, and I'll just say I'll say it again. I will randomly add people from time to time, just to see what people are like. I mean, some people are good. Actually, most people I meet are pretty nice. And so far, I've added like 2 other people with like recommendations on my friend recommendation list, and they've really been quite nice. They've, you know, on top of that, it's interesting to see what comes up in your feed about that person too, as well. They just sometimes they have the same mindset as yourself. That's quite interesting to watch. Recently did some photos of some of the stuff that I ended up drawing, new stuff anyway. Actually, I got a bunch of likes on a few of the photos of the computer equipment I did. This is what's good. It's pretty good actually. Well, there's also recommendations. It's good to know when you get people to follow. Let me see here. Though I had somebody recently email me on Gumtree. They messaged me. I mean, I've had like a good percent of like a decent amount of messages over time. Somebody wanted me to replace a keyboard in a MacBook. The problem with that MacBook in question is I had to take the entire freaking thing apart just to get to the keyboard. Like the entire motherboard, everything else, pull all the circuitry out and everything else, and yeah. There's a lot of rigmarole, so that hence I charged the price accordingly to that, of course. Then somebody asked me before Christmas to look at a gaming computer, which they never got back to me after Christmas. I mean, mind you, I was relaxing over Christmas, having a few drinks and doing stuff. So, then this person, yeah, that's right. They asked me because they said the motherboard was dead, and I said the best option for them I would recommend is to actually, they're probably better off getting a new laptop, because replacing the motherboard is probably going to cost about the same in most cases, depending on, of course, what type of computer it is and how expensive it is. Some of the stuff I got on Gumtree. I don't get a lot of questions through all classifieds for some reason. Like, if I do, they're mostly via email, and I haven't had any questions through all classifieds in a while, actually. That's surprising, because, I mean, it used to be a pretty prominent site. I don't know whether it's as much of a prominent site now, but maybe it just doesn't do as much for that. I get questions through Facebook as well. I had somebody ask me about a MacBook, and she said, it's basically not turning on as showing an Apple icon. I said, well, look, it could be either a hard drive or RAM. I don't know without actually having a look at it. I'm like, that's, you know, I'd have to look at it and see what's going on with it. So I have had a few people inquire. It's not as if I don't get people inquiring about business, but there's some situations where I've given them a price range of what it's going to cost them to get it fixed, and they either like the price or they've tried to find a different price. But I mean, considering, I honestly think I'm pretty cheap. Considering, you know, like, there's more expensive people out there than me. Considering I'm doing it all from home, so at the same time, you know, it's not too bad in that retrospect, anyway. Let me see. My Twitter feed. So, feed. Right. Notifications. It's funny, my followers go up and down. I followed a few more people, but it started out a reasonably higher number than it is now, and it's gone down a bit. It's weird. See, the other side of it too is that I've either got one from one extent to the other. I can either put money into Twitter, or I can put money into, it's like not Twitter, but into social media stuff, or I can put money into my my repairs and things like that, and stuff that I need for my repairs. And that's the problem, you know. When you don't have enough money for both sometimes. Now, I probably should budget for some of that stuff, but the other side of it too is the other side of it too. I mean, I've probably been spending a little more in the sense of like things that I want and things that I specifically need or want for the house or whatever. That's the stuff I've been adding lately. So, you know. Alright, so, purging myself of negativity, which is what I'm doing right now. Purging myself of a certain degree of negativity, negative people, negative responses, and yeah, this always comes up on my fucking phone. Negative response. Oh, there we go. Fucking more spam. Go fuck yourself. Sick of fucking spam. Just want to gut the motherfucker who invented spam. That'd be nice. That'd be great. Get rid of him. He's an asshole. I'm gonna another coffee because probably just better for me to get coffee because coffee is your friend. Wow. Very nice. Oh, okay, that was Twitter. I just wondering what the fuck it was. It is interesting though, most women that I see, especially on some of these single sites, they always put their boobs in, or cleavage at least. I've got to say, I'm a big sucker for cleavage. I do love cleavage, it's not inherently bad. Yeah, I'll be honest, most women can get me with cleavage. If you got a bit of cleavage going on, that's alright, lassie. That's fine. I actually mind cleavage. I love cleavage, actually. Boobs in general, they're just something you can love. They truly can be something you can love. I mean, it's not always about that. It's not always about somebody's boobs or their butt or whatever. Sometimes it can be about their personality too. You can fall in love with that. probably just because I have a fairly high libido to start with, so it's a lot of it occupies a lot of my thought patterns. But inherently, genetically speaking, most people think that way anyway. And we all think about sex at some point in our lives. I mean, it may diminish to a certain extent as we get older, but not necessarily as much. I mean, depending on what you do, you know, and how healthy you are too. Oh god, I've always had a reasonably healthy degree of hormone levels. I've always had a reasonably degree. Probably sometimes I'm a little too horny, so that's probably my issue. It doesn't happen all the time though. It's only sometimes I get that way. But I don't do too bad, so you know. At this point, I'll see what my ads yield. I put a bunch of them up in a bunch of Facebook groups. Oh, okay then. I do love some of the pervy groups I join. They always got something interesting going on. Trading post. But you know, I put a bunch of stuff up in Facebook groups, so for sale groups in particular. So, I'm surprised though. I'm followed by 108 people. That does surprise me some days. Apparently I must do some interesting stuff on and off, whether it's through stupid drunkenness or just the fact that I'm pissed off and ranting about something. It's either one of the two. Classifieds. Keep hanging on, motherfucker. There we go. Archive. I was hoping for an email for this, to some indication of. I ordered some hemp oil and I haven't received it yet. I sent him an email. I knocked him off an email just to find out what was going on with it, and like, because apparently, well, if most people don't know this, but actually hemp oil is legal in Australia. You can actually buy it for medical purposes and such. And so I purchased some myself, and I'm just waiting for it to arrive in the mail. It's not cheap though. I did find a cheaper site, which looked interesting. It's there somewhere. Well, anyway, there was a cheaper site that I know of. Yeah, there's a site anyway. There should be a cheaper site anyway, but I'm going to try this site first because I want to see if I can get some. I was waiting for it to come be delivered, pretty much. Keep hanging on. So I'm feeling better now. After a few cups of coffee and a clear system, I'm feeling better, which is the plus side. It's not a bad day. Well, so far it's 4:23 AM, so See if today yields any more business or anything of that nature. See how it goes. And my dad's been pretty happy with Netflix lately. I've been pretty happy with Netflix. I've been using the American Netflix myself because I've got my VPN to set up so I can watch it. And, but it's a specific service. You've got to add it on to the streaming service to be able to actually get it to work. So, this is like US streaming or something like that. Plus side, the US streaming has a lot more bigger database, so that's the reason I like it. I can still do HD streaming. It's not bad for HD. I mean, I can't do 4K, but I can do HD streaming, so that's the main thing. Stripping it. I have to call it cinnamon. God, I love some of the shit that comes across my newsfeed. Why do women wear panties with flowers on them? In loving memory of all the faces that were that have been buried there. Oh, that's funny. At the same time as being funny, it's quite perverted, and at the same time, you know, it's just something that's going to make you, well, makes you think, you know, just fucking, I don't know, it makes me think about pussy, to be honest, but yeah, that's my personal preference. Tree. Oh man, okay. It's just one of those days, I guess. So I haven't really worked on my website anymore. I'll probably do some adjustments to it, I eventually will, but I'm miffed right now. So yeah, I'm gonna play a couple of games anyway. Actually, I'll probably have to log on to the main screen. So, I want to play Left 4 Dead 2 because I'm in the mood. Right click, recycling bin. There we go, and I think I have to switch to the main screen. Oh, yeah. I will have to switch to the main screen because it's not on the main screen. There we go. That's more like it. Oh. Yeah. So, let me see here. Have to lock it. Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. Lock it to there. Let's see. Lock that to the main screen. Scroll all the way down here and go to here. Headphones on. Just makes it easier for me. Oh, no. I want Left 4 Dead 2. What the hell am I on Left 4 Dead 1 for? I'm the wrong fucking game. That's hilarious. Left 4 Dead 2. That's what I'm definitely going to get that, bring that exercise bike in today, maybe just have a go with it. If anybody's wondering, I can't actually see the screen. I should probably have one of the I probably have actually momentarily.
You think they saw us?
They saw us all right, and they're not coming back.
Looked like it was heading to the mall across town.
We better arm ourselves. I hope you three know how to fight. You don't look it.
Holy crap. This fucking frame rate shitting itself. Wasn't that bad before. Could have been the Windows update, maybe.
Jesus Christ, what are these things?
Wow, okay. Definitely lag. The weird part is I don't have this problem with number 2. Why am I having this problem with number 1? I don't fucking get that. Sorry. God, I said it in reverse. Fucking, I have dyslexia for fucking saying words in order. What I meant to say was, I don't have that problem with number 1 because number 1's really frame rate's really fast. It's kind of interesting. Let me just. Well, that's kind of curious. Why am I getting a shitty frame rate now? That makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a heap of sense. I mean, I got a few tabs open, no denying that, but it's not bad. Well, I'll leave it on that for the moment. Maybe. Actually, I want to see something. I want to see, because there's a Windows update and I was wondering the game where it was before. I don't know whether this Windows update is affecting things or not. I'm curious. Critter interactions. Interesting.
Come back! Come back! Oh, he ain't coming back.
That chopper looks like it's heading to the evac center at the mall.
Gotta agree. Let's follow them to the mall. Grab whatever you can find to make
Axe.
something with.
Well, it's sort of gone now. I don't know, it comes and goes. That's interesting. Ah, where is this lag from? See, I didn't have this lag before. It's weird. I didn't have the lag with number 1 anyway. I was playing number 1. So, there we go. Fucking Ivan again. Wow, that's laggy. Damn, it looks like it was strong. It's kind of got me curious as to I don't have problems with my desktop, so that's not an issue. It's stupid though, like SLI, right, as a product, it's kind of flawed. There's a lot of flaws in it in general, because like trying to get things to work is such a pain in the rectum. Shit. It's kind of stupid, but I've had so many games break because SLI is just a fucking bullshit artist in the way it deals with things. It's kind of fucking stupid. I'm going to dedicate that card to PhysX. Maybe apply it, if I can. Won't let me. Oh, it's got a bunch of fucking apps that's going to tell me that it needs to close before I can fucking do it. Figures. Bunch of fucking apps, I figured that. Ah! Got me sideways. Who knows? Ah, that's fucking annoying, so I have to restart everything. Okay, look. So I'm gonna have to restart some of these apps. Alright, I'm gonna restart, and I'm gonna dedicate one card to PhysX. That seems a logical step. I'm just gonna close